Joining us now, one of Putin's most wanted. Welcome, Bill Browder, the CEO of Hermitage Capital. Good to have you with us tonight, Mr. Browder.
Good to be here.
Okay, I want to get your reaction to a couple of things. First of all, the comments by Russian President Vladimir Putin, who you clearly oppose. He's not a fan of yours, saying that in this idea of exchanging witnesses or people that we want to talk to in Russia with people they want to talk to or investigate, he said we can bring up the Mr. Browder in this particular case. Business associates of Mr. Browder have earned over $1.5 billion in Russia, never paid any taxes, neither in Russia nor in the U.S., and yet the money escaped the country. They were transferred to the U.S. First of all, your reaction to his accusations.
Well, Vladimir Putin hates my guts. He hates my guts because I was the one responsible for getting the Magnitsky Act in place, which goes after the assets of kleptocrats and crooks and human rights violators like Vladimir Putin. And so he's been going after me for a number of years. They've opened up many criminal cases against me. They've accused me of serial killing, of being a CIA MI6 agent trying to bring Russia down. They've accused me of donating $400 million to Hillary Clinton, which they then changed to $400,000 the next day. Putin is basically just throwing all these accusations out like candy because he hates me, and he hates me because I found his Achilles heel, which is his money in the West, and we can seize it through the Magnitsky Act.
So how do you then react to the comments by Sarah Sanders from the White House today that there was a conversation about this, no commitment by the U.S.? It's an interesting idea. We haven't committed to anything.
It's just unbelievable. It's atrocious. Just look at the situation. So my lawyer, Sergei Magnitsky, was murdered after uncovering a massive government corruption scheme. He was tortured to death. I've been on a campaign to get justice for him, and Putin wants to get me back to torture me to death. And Donald Trump says he thinks that's an interesting idea and they're not dismissing it. That's just outrageous.
Do you feel safe?
I do not feel safe. Of course not. I've got the most dangerous, homicidal sociopath in the world after me. How could I possibly feel safe?
All right. Another name coming up in this is former ambassador to Russia from the U.S., Ambassador McFaul. Michael McFaul tweeting this: I hope the White House corrects the record and denounces in categorical terms this ridiculous request from Putin. Not doing so creates moral equivalency between a legitimacy, a U.S. indictment of Russian intelligence officers, and a crazy, completely fabricated story invented by Putin. What do you need to hear from the president, from the White House?
Well, it's pretty straightforward. Is that the idea of the United States allowing Vladimir Putin and his secret policemen to come to the United States and interrogate the former U.S. ambassador to Russia and to interrogate a bunch of DHS and investigators who are investigating Russian money laundering has to be denounced and rejected outright right away. This idea that they're considering it is appalling. It's atrocious. It's unbelievable.
What do you say to your critics who question why you gave up your U.S. citizenship and all of the allegations against you?
Well, the allegations against me mostly come from Russia. I gave up my U.S. citizenship when I emigrated 29 years ago to the United Kingdom. I live in London. I'm a British citizen. There's nothing wrong with that. It's an ally. I haven't given up my citizenship to join Iran or some silly thing like that.
Okay, so where do we go from here? A renunciation by the White House. If you don't get it, where do you go from here?
Well, I mean, I think that this is really a moment of truth. You know, everybody says, is Trump somehow under the influence of Putin? If he gives in and he allows Putin to come to the United States and to interrogate a bunch of senior government officials in the United States, something is seriously wrong. This is the key moment. This will tell us everything.
Well, the State Department, at least spokeswoman Heather Nauer today, called it absolutely absurd. We're hearing that from many other folks across the spectrum, politically and ideologically. So, Bill Browder, stay in touch.
Thank you.